So today we are looking at the Bluestar Linux. So the latest version is 6.10.6. So here is the boot menu of the Bluestar Linux. Let me quickly boot it in the live boot. So I'm going to give you a small description of the Bluestar Linux. So it is a Linux which is based on Arch Linux, and the Bluestar distribution features up to the date packages. So the Bluestar distribution features up to date packages, a full range of desktop and multimedia software in the default installation, and a live desktop DVD. So it has the desktop environment of KDE Plasma, and the Linux distribution comes from the Germany. So it's based from Germany, or you can call it as the origin from the Germany. So it's an Arch based Linux distribution, or Arch Linux based distribution. So the version is 6.10.6 Bluestar Linux. So I think the 6.10.6 should be the latest Linux kernel, because the latest Linux kernel available, or the stable Linux kernel right now, is 6.10.6. So that should be the reason to call it as a Bluestar Linux. But we're going to find out all those things as soon as the desktop layout is loaded. So the booting process will take like 2 or 3 minutes in my PC usually, because the VMware, I'm running it on the VMware, and I'm going to show you the hardware specs of my VMware, which is 60 GB of a hard disk or the virtual disk, 8 GB of a RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So these are all my hardware specs. So usually it will take like 2 or 3 minutes to load up the desktop layout in almost every Linux distros. But let's see how much of time it's going to take. But right now we are seeing a mouse pointer on the screen. So there will be some misspeakings throughout the video, maybe because I'm a bit tired. So that's should be some case. Try to ignore all those things and you should be getting all the information from me, because I'm going to cover all those features and everything, like a complete distro information, and what are all the things you get in this Linux distribution. I'm going to mention all those things. So it's pretty much almost like a 1.5 minute, 2 minutes. So we are still seeing a mouse pointer. We didn't have any wallpaper or the desktop loaded still. So I think it's going to take a few more minutes. So here is the KDE Plasma logo loading. So that means you should be loading in almost like 30 seconds. So I think it should be also have the latest KDE Plasma version, because the distribution says itself it features latest data packages, or latest packages. So it's going to take almost like 3 minutes as usual from almost every Linux distribution. So here you can see the dock in the bottom. And the KDE Plasma version, latest version, has some issues, which is a 6.1 version, which is 6.1.4 version. So let me first change the display configuration, and I'm going to open the system monitor or the cases guard to show you how much of resources it's consuming. So my monitor is like a 1920 into 1080. It took almost like 2.5 minutes to load up the desktop layout. So let's go to about section, or the about the system. So the KDE Plasma version is 6.1.4. The CPU issue will be in this version. I'm going to show you that. So graphics platform, it says X11. The Linux kernel is 6.10.6, and also the Bluestar Linux latest version name is also 6.10.6 version, and the Qt version you get is a 6.7.2, and the KDE frameworks version 6.5.0. So this is all the information. So it's based on Arch Linux, I already mentioned. If you want more system information, you can click on it, and here you should be getting the information. Let me close all those things. Let me open the application menu. So these are all the applications you get from the Bluestar Linux. Pre-installed applications like games, graphics, internet, multimedia, the office. I hope you are seeing, because of the theme there is some issues. So let me first open the system monitor. So I can't even really see here. So let's find the cases guard or the system monitor. Instead of that, let's first change the settings. System settings. Let me change the wallpaper and theme because it's kinda, I think it's Breezer dark. Let me change it to the light version. I hope it changes. Let me click apply. So it's going to take a few seconds here. So I think right now we should be seeing all those things. So it's pretty much good now. Let me show you all those things. So under development, you should be seeing all this application. Education, you get mathematics, science with the LibreOffice, math, and here is the card games, graphics. You get a bunch of applications. Let's go to more applications. On the internet, you get all those important applications. On the multimedia, office, the settings, the system. So we need to find like a system monitor. So I don't think there is anything like that here, or the cases guard. So there is nothing here. So utilities, nothing. More applications, and lost and found, Bluestar Linux installer. So there is some CPU monitor here. Open custom monitor. So there is an error, so I'm going to close it. So let me first open the Firefox web browser and let me take you to the Bluestar Linux website, and I'm going to give all the information there. So you just get the latest version, Linux kernel 6.10.6. So as you can see, the browser is taking a lot of time. Usually you should open in like a 7-8 seconds in my PC, but it's going to take more seconds I think here. So there is also a CPU issue in the KDE Plasma 6.1.4. If you don't know what I'm talking, you need to watch my KDE Plasma version videos. You should be getting an idea, because the CPU consumption is like a pretty much 98%, 99%, and RAM will be stable, but the CPU should be consuming a lot of resources because of the CPU, all the applications and all those things will be loading pretty much late because of CPU. So in this same case, it's the browser is also taking a lot of time. So that's an issue with the KDE Plasma version. So if I had the system monitor, I'm going to show you, but in this case we don't even have the system monitor. Let's even try to open the console and see the headstop. So here is some of the information of the Bluestar Linux. Let me try to open headstop. So here you should be seeing the CPU. CPU will be pretty much consuming a lot of resources. I'm going to put it right here, and you should be seeing all those things. So we don't have still the browser opened, so that's the issue I said. So I clicked on the browser almost like a 50-60 seconds, maybe a minute. We are still not getting anything here. So let me open the new tab. Let me type in some commands here. For example, neofetch, command not found. inxi, not found. cat etc issue. So it's a Bluestar Linux. So we already saw the Linux kernel version, which is 6.10.6. Let me close the terminal. So I'm going to open the Firefox browser once again. So keep an eye on the CPU. It should be going up to 98% like that. And it doesn't even open the browser, so it's going to take ages to open. So there is literally nothing if the browser is not opened. So you get the latest kernel version from the Bluestar Linux. Other than that, there is nothing here. You just get a bunch of applications. So let me open some of the applications to see whether the distro will handle day-to-day tasks or it's going to crash. So here you can see the CPU went almost 100%. So this will be the case throughout the video if you have the KDE Plasma version 6.1.4. Let me open the Thunderbird also, and even the Pigeon. Let me open a bunch of applications, multimedia, graphics. Let's open the color paint. So it has the latest version, but the KDE Plasma version has some issues, so it's clearly up to you to decide whether to use this Linux distro or not. In my opinion, I'm just going to not recommend you because of the KDE Plasma version, because it's going to consume a lot of resources of a CPU. Even if I have the latest hardware specs, it's going to consume a lot of resources. So if you are using the latest KDE Plasma version 6.1.4, do let me know in the comment section how it's performing on your PC if you installed it on the bare metal, because I tried in the bare metal also, I had the same issues. So the browser opened right now, almost after like a 2-3 minutes it opened because of the Thunderbird. So I'm going to show you some information here. So let's see what version you get from the Bluestar Linux Firefox. So you get the latest version of 129.0.2. It is a 0.2 update. So you get the latest version of Firefox. Let me type in about support. So this Linux is from the Germany, and it's based on Arch Linux, and the KDE Plasma desktop environment is the default desktop environment you get. So here is some of the information: Arch Linux, the version of the Firefox web browser, and here is the theme, which is Arc Dark or the Arc, and here is my RAM, here is the disk space available. So you just need to scroll it down to get some additional information. So these are all some of the information. If you consider it as important, just pause video and read everything. Window protocol is X11, desktop environment is KDE Plasma. Here is some of the information. I'm going to just open the browser, not the browser, the official website. Just type in like a Bluestar Linux. So you get the latest packages, but you should be having issue with the KDE Plasma. So you need to face those things. So let me open the Bluestar Linux. So here is the ISO file. So let me try to see whether there is any like official website or anything like that, because I downloaded it from the SourceForge website. So the Bluestar Linux is an Arch Linux, which I already mentioned. Here is some of the important information. If you consider it as important, you can read it. So solid operating system that provides a breadth of the functionality and ease of use without sacrificing aesthetics. Bluestar is offered in 3 editions: Desktop, Desktop Pro and Developer, each tailored to address the needs of a variety of Linux users. Bluestar can be installed permanently as a robust and fully configurable operating system on a laptop or a desktop system, or it can be run effectively as live installer and supports the additional. So these are all some of the information. You can just read it here. So I don't want you to get bored by just reading everything. So the official link is like from the Facebook. I don't know how it's from the website. So in order to ask some questions, I think you need to go and ask to the Facebook. I really don't think there will be some guys using Facebook still. I don't know, but if you're using, if you want to chat with them, you can chat with them, or else you can go with the support and get the information there. So here is the latest information. Just go to the distro. You need to go to the files first, and here are the ISO files, and here is the versions. ISO file 6.10.6, or else you can just scroll it up and click here. The version should be 6.10.6, and it's going to take like a 5 seconds to start the download. So you should be seeing the download here, and always verify the code name and all those things, like a date and all those things, like BSLX 6.10.6-1. So this is the ISO file. The ISO file is around like a 4.5 GB, so it's pretty much 5 GB. So we got all the information from the browser. Let me close it. So it's consuming completely, almost like it's consuming all the CPU right now. So you should be seeing same issues throughout the video. because of the CPU. If you had like a system monitor, I could properly show everything, because it's going to consume a lot of CPU throughout my video. I saw this in every KDE Plasma desktop version with a 6.1. So there is an issue with the CPU for some reason. So I'm going to open a bunch of applications to see whether we will have any crashes or any issues, because this Linux distribution is full of applications added. So you get a bunch of bloatware applications here, so you don't get any plain or anything here. So there are a bunch of applications added here. So if you are a person who likes a bunch of applications, you can go with this Linux distribution, because they have like a lot of applications. And always, before trying anything, always give it a try in the live boot or in the virtual machine. Then if you're satisfied, then go with installation with the main PC or work PC. And always check the CPU resources before trying this KDE Plasma 6.1 version of Bluestar Linux, or whatever the Linux distro it is, because it will be consuming a lot of resources. So it's better to check all those things, because if you already have a good running operating system or the Linux distribution, which is pretty much stable, don't try to ruin it by installing some random Linux distributions or the KDE Plasma version 6.1.4, because the CPU has some issues. So that's the reason. If you already have the good distribution running stably, don't try to ruin it, because I don't want you to ruin your PC because of some latest or aesthetics things. Don't go with the aesthetics things or those fashion things. Always go with whether the Linux distribution is stable, or like it's pretty much if it's pretty much working properly, then don't try to ruin it. If you still want to try it in the virtual machines or live boot. Don't try to install it on the main PC or work PC and ruin your PC. So I'm saying it again and again, because there are some distributions which is going to give you a lot of mental stress because of these things, because it's going to consume a lot of resources. Maybe it should be having some bugs, so that's the reason. Always try it in the live boot or virtual machine. Then if you're satisfied, go with the installation. So here are the versions of Octopi, and let's check the packages. Let me scroll it down here. So these are all the packages with the versions you should be seeing right here on the right side corner, and the download size. So it's pretty much unstable on the CPU side, but RAM is almost consuming 1.56 GB. So I don't consider it as a lightweight desktop environment. You already know KDE Plasma desktop environment is not considered as lightweight, but it's going to considered as a middleweight in my opinion. So do let me know in the comment section what you think, because it's consuming like the default. As soon as you boot up the Linux distro, it's going to consume like a 1.1 GB, 1.2 GB. So it's not pretty much a lightweight Linux distribution. So that's my opinion. Do let me know in the comment section what you think, because the lightweight distributions will consume like almost like a 700 MB maximum, 700 MB, 800 MB will be maximum. For example, LXQT, LXDE, OpenBox, this type of desktop environment consume less resources. So Dolphin File Manager, you get the latest version. So this Linux distribution is pretty much you get all the latest applications and packages and all those things, like a kernel also. But the only issue is the desktop environment. If they added some other desktop environment, that will be a good idea, but they just kept the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So you need to try it on your own and decide everything on your own. So let's check the Thunderbird version. Do we get the latest application? So you don't get the latest version, you get the Supernova. So the latest version of Thunderbird is something I don't really remember, but there is some name for the latest version of the Thunderbird. So you get the old Thunderbird application here. Color Paint, you get the 24.05.2. so you get the latest KDE Plasma version. Here is the Pigeon, and here is like a macOS dock. So it's not pretty much same like a macOS, but you get a dock under the screen here. And also you should be seeing some application menu or app grid here. So I'm going to close the desktop, close the window. So you should be seeing some KDE Plasma default things here, like a volume and the internet connection, the most recent devices, volume, and the Pigeon, the application. And also here is the language selection if you want. Here is the calculator. Here is the app menu or the app grid. So you get a bunch of Bluetooth applications. So that's one thing you get. If you want like a KDE Plasma plain thing, it's better to go with the KDE Neon or some KDE Plasma desktop environment, which has like a no Bluetooth applications. You can choose those things. I already made like a 3000 videos in my channel of every Linux distro. It's better to watch those videos, or you can watch some other channels also for your information. So you get a bunch of applications. So that's the thing you hear, and also the latest kernel. So let me show you. So I think the browser is going to open again here. So the Thunderbird opened the browser in the beginning, but let's going to click again and see whether the browser is going to open or not. If it isn't open, then I'm going to end the video here, because it will be a waste of time. And also you get the installer here. So it's not showing anything here. Let's find the installer here. Bluestar Linux installer. At least the installer may open, I guess. So you get the Calamarus installer. So they mentioned they have like a 3 editions here: the basic, desktop, desktop pro, and the developer. You get the 4 editions here. So choose your language and the Calamarus installer version. And still there is no browser opened, so there is an issue with the browser. So click on next, choose whatever the edition you want here. I'm going to choose the Desk Pro. Click on next, choose your location, choose your map or like a drop down menu. There are 2 options here, and if you want to customize anything here, you can customize. These are the things. The system language will be set to American English United States. If you want to customize, do customize. If you want keep it like that, keep it like that. The numbers and date locales will be set to American English United States. Again, same thing. If you want to customize, do customize. Then if you want keep it like that, keep it like that. The keyboard, choose your keyboard. The default one is like this. Choose your language for the keyboard, choose your variant for the keyboard. If you want, you can test your keyboard, and also you can switch your keyboard right here. After everything, click on next. Here is the partitions. If you don't know how to install the Linux distro, and if you are a newcomer to the Linux, it's better to watch some tutorials of installation tutorials, like installing Linux in the virtual disk or a hard disk. The videos will be like a 2 or 3 minutes. Just watch the tutorials. So I have made a lot of videos, but I never made a tutorials in my channel, because I will be covering everything from that Linux distribution, because that's the issue. I never made separate tutorials. So if you don't know what I'm talking, it's better to watch like installation tutorials of Linux, and you should be good. But I'm going to give you a small description here, or a small information. So first you need to choose your hard disk here, or the installation drive. If you have like a multiple hard drive, you then select the specific installation drive. So this first option is like it's going to delete everything in that specific drive, and it's going to install the Bluestar Linux on that installation drive as the single operating system. And here is the options. And the other option is like a manual partitioning. You need to create a partition before choosing this option. Choose your partition, select your partition, and then click on the manual partition and install the Bluestar Linux in that specific partition. And you should be seeing dual operating system or dual boot options in the boot menu. Like one will be the Bluestar Linux and other will be the other current operating system. So that was the installation process here. So if you choose the erase disk, you need to provide your password for the encryption. If you don't want, you just uncheck it. And this will be the present drive, and after the installation it will be like this. And for the bootloader location, here are 3 options which will be default in every Linux distro. So the first one is master boot record for the specific installation drive. It will be different for you because I'm using a virtual machine, so VMware, so it says as a VMware. And the other option is a system partition, and the last one is a do not install a bootloader. So if you watched the tutorial, you know what to do here. So after choosing everything, click on next. So here is the user account creation. So it says what is your name. So the installation will be same, like a user creation will be same in every operating system. So there is nothing complicated here. So it says what is your name here. Let me type in some random things. Let me type in 9to5 Linux. So what name do you want to use to log in? If you use the numericals, it's going to say some pop-up like your username must start with a lowercase letter or an underscore. So you need to use the alphabets, and it should be good. So you should be seeing everything like a tick mark here. So what is the name of this computer? If you want, you can change according to your wish, but I'm going to keep it like that. Choose a password to keep your account safe. I'm choosing the simple password. For example, like a 123456. So it says some issues because we use the simple password. You need to give the strong password. If you want, check this, and it says there is a weak password because I use just a 1 to 6 number, so that's the reason. Log in automatically without asking for the password. If you want, check it or uncheck it, it's clearly up to you. Use the same password for the administrator account. If you want to choose the same password as the above for the administrator account, just check it like this, or else uncheck it and give the other password. It's clearly up to you. After clicking on next, you should be seeing whatever you chose in the previous installation steps will be right here. So if everything is good, just click on install. If anything is wrong, just go back and fix all those things. So after clicking on install, it's going to take like a 20 to 25 minutes. If you have a low-end PC, it will be consuming that much of time. If you have like a high-end PC, it should be very quick. And also it depends on the stable ISO file. If the ISO file is a stable version, it's going to be installed very quickly without any issues. If you downloaded the beta version or the development version or the alpha version, so it's going to take like a more time, or maybe there will be some issues like it's going to fail, in the installation may fail, and also there will be some black screen, or else something like a not responding, or maybe the screen will be frozen. So this all the issues will be in the beta version or the development version or an unstable version. So you need to have this type of ideas when installing. So these things may happen in rare cases, but usually it doesn't happen, but in rare cases it may happen. So I'm going to give all the information, so that's the reason I said all those things. So we are going to cancel the installation because I need to make another video. So still the Firefox didn't open, so I'm going to end the video here because you just get the latest applications and some latest kernel. Other than that, there is nothing in this distribution. So it's clearly up to you to decide whether to use this distribution or not. So I said already my information or my thoughts on this distribution. If you want the latest version, it's better to go download the Arch Linux. So this is the Arch-based Linux distribution. It's better to go download the Arch and install whatever the desktop environment you want. Because this KDE Plasma version, latest version, has some CPU issues. It's going to consume a lot of resources, and it doesn't let us to open any applications. So that's the reason I say it's better to skip this Linux distribution, in my opinion, because of the desktop environment. And there is another session. If you want something else like Arch-based Linux distribution, it's better to go download the Arch Linux and install whatever the desktop environment, because you can install whatever desktop environment you want. For example, the XFCE, LXQT, or some other type of desktop environment, and you can customize according to your wish, because there is no like a fancy thing other than the dock and some top panel. There is 2 changes. Other than that, you just basically get the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So I don't think just for 2 things it's better not go with this Linux distro. You can customize according to your wish if you just spend some time on the YouTube, and you can watch tutorials of how to customize your Linux desktop. So you can do on any desktop environment, so you can do whatever you want if you have a stable Linux distribution. So if you want to go with Arch, if you like Arch Linux distribution, it's better to go directly for the Arch Linux distribution instead of based distributions. So this one is not, I'm not going to recommend this distribution because of those things. It has the latest kernel, but you can do that in your own Arch Linux distribution also. So I'm not going to recommend this, but if you still want to try it, it's up to you. Don't try to install it on your main PC or work PC. Always try it in the first live boot or the virtual machine, then go with the installation. So I choose the other session. Let me click enter. So I think the password is LIVE. So it says login failed. BS LX. So I don't know what is the live credentials for this password. Let's try the password. So I don't really know the password, so I'm logged out. So you need to find the password also. If I know the password, I'm going to give you in the description, but right now it's not opening. Let me try the root. So it says 10 minutes left to unlock. So I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Peace out.